Welcome to day 8 of Romance Yourself. Today we have a yoga flow to help us build self-confidence. Self-confidence is a very important part of being on this journey of self-love. We don't always have to feel our best. We don't always have to feel this external version of beautiful to feel confident and embodied within ourselves. What we do need is to know our values. We need to know who we are, and we need to be confident in that despite what the world is telling us and trying to sell us. With this in mind, we're going to use the affirmation today: I know myself and I love myself. I know myself and I love myself. Just saying it for me in this moment is exactly what I need to hear, so I hope that it is what you need to hear today. And we're going to do a lot of poses today and a lot of breathing that focuses on the solar plexus. This is the area of our body that kind of houses our identity, and whenever this part of us is strong and we can learn to move from this place, we can feel more confident as we go about our lives. Let's get started today, just taking a moment to go inward, closing the eyes, letting the hands rest in the lap wherever is comfortable for you, sitting in a way that's comfortable for you. Feel free to bring in your blanket, your blocks, your bolster, using anything that you want to make yourself comfortable here, and trusting that you know what that is for yourself. Softening the muscles of the face, connecting to your breath. Begin to gently engage the muscles of the pelvic floor and the lower belly by drawing everything up and in. And we'll start with a little bit of pranayama. Let's start just by starting to exaggerate the inhales and the exhales. Taking big, buoyant breaths in through the nose. And really pressing the air out on the exhale. Continuing like that, big, buoyant breath in, filling up the lungs. And exhaling. Really press your air out to the bottom of your exhale. One more like this. Breathe in. And press the air out. Being sure that you can sit up nice and tall here. Bring your fingertips to your shoulders, so your elbows are kind of out to the side, fingertips resting on the heads of your shoulders. We're going to inhale and twist to the left. Exhale, twist to the right. And continue. Going at your pace. Letting the twisting come from your abdomen and from your waist. You can start to speed it up if you want to. Stay with it. Keep your breath with the movement. And start to release. Come back to center slowly. Let your hands rest in your lap. Feeling that connection to your core. With your next inhale, reach your arms out to the sides and up, upward salute, palms come together overhead. And then exhale, press your palms together and down to your heart center. Inhale, interlace your fingers. Exhale, press your palms forward, straighten the arms away from you. Inhale, reach the arms up, keeping the palms flipped. Exhale, reach your arms out to the sides and down. Inhale, reach your arms out to the sides and up again. Exhale, palms come together, down to the heart. Inhale, interlace your fingers the way that feels a little unusual, the way that feels a little funky. Exhale to press the palms forward, straighten the arms. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. And then exhale, release. Hands float down to the floor. And we're going to make our way onto tabletop pose, all fours. Knees underneath the hips, hands under the shoulders. Build your foundation, pressing down through all of your knuckles, pressing down through the tops of your feet, drawing the navel up. We're going to try to keep that connection to the core today as much as possible. So as you inhale, lift the tailbone, pull your heart forward, belly drops down, navel is still drawing up. Exhale, tilt your tailbone down, round your spine, press the earth away, let your head drop down. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale for cow. And exhale for cat. One more, breathe in, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, come back to your neutral spine. Tuck your right toes under, press back through that right heel, straighten out the leg. Feel that stretch into the back of your leg. And now start to float your right toes away from the ground, still pressing out through that heel. Toes are pointing down and trying to draw your right hip down in alignment with your left hip. Notice as you do this, are you crashing into the shoulders? Is the belly dropping down? Draw everything back up to the back body. Everything in the front body hugging up to meet the back body. Arrow pose. If you want to, you can stay here, or you can reach the left hand forward like you're shaking someone's hand in front of you. Reaching in opposite directions with the left hand and with the right foot. Breathe. One more breath in. Exhale, left hand comes down. Place your right toes down with the toes tucked under still. Turn onto the inside of that right foot so your toes are pointing towards the long edge of your mat. Breathe in, reach your right hand into the sky. Side plank. You can stay here, or maybe you start to challenge your balance, challenge that center of gravity, looking towards your right thumb. It's okay if there's some wobbles here. I know that there are for me today. Everything drawing into your midline, lifting through the pelvic floor. One more breath in. Exhale, right hand comes down, right knee comes down. Over to the other side. Tuck your left toes under, press back through the left heel, straighten that leg. Feel that stretch in the back of the leg. Keep drawing everything in your front body up and in. As you start to lift your left toes away from the ground. Once again, notice if you start to crash into the shoulders, if the belly starts to dip, draw everything up. Left toes point down. Left hip is coming down in alignment with your right hip. If you want to, you stay here, or you experiment with reaching your right hand forward, reaching the left foot and right hand in opposite directions, pressing the earth away, breathing here, arrow pose. And exhale, right hand comes down, left toes come down, turn on that foot. Inhale, reach the left hand into the air, side plank. Maybe challenging your balance a little bit, looking towards your left thumb. Pressing your hips forward just a little bit. One more breath in. And exhale, left hand comes down and your left knee comes down into your downward facing dog. Walk your hands just one handprint in front of where they were before. Press down through the index finger and thumb knuckles. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back. Let the head relax down, walk out through the backs of your legs. From your downward dog, ground down through your left heel. Inhale, reach your right leg into the air. Exhale, draw your knee in towards your nose. Shift forward, one-legged plank, drawing the knee up into the body. Think cat pose. Inhale, shift your weight back and up. Three-legged dog. Take a breath in here. Exhale, knee to nose, shift forward, round the spine. Inhale, three-legged dog, last one. Exhale, draw it in, knee to nose. And then lower your right knee behind your right wrist, point the toes towards the left, lower your left knee down, and walk that left knee back, coming into your pigeon pose. So feel free to bring a block underneath your hips, or a blanket or a bolster. You can lower down to your forearms if you're comfortable here, taking a few breaths, letting the arms have a little break, getting a nice big stretch into the hips. Taking some breaths here to come back to your affirmation. I know myself and I love myself. Begin to come back onto your hands. You're just going to shift over to your right hip and swing your left leg around in front, drawing your right foot to the earth and pointing that right knee towards the ceiling. Taking a twist here. Your left leg is active this whole time, right? Hook the left elbow around the right knee. Inhale, reach your right hand up. Exhale, reach it back and down into your twist. Marichi Asana. Looking towards the wall behind you if your neck is okay with that. One more breath in. And exhale, looking forward and release. Just come around to one side, make your way back to table, and then coming back into your downward facing dog. Lifting the hips up and back. Start walking out through the backs of your legs again, paddling out the feet. Strong in the arms, reaching up with the sits bones, drawing navel up and in. Ground through your right heel, breathe in, reach the left heel high. Exhale, knee to nose, shift forward, three-legged plank. One-legged plank. That would be pretty fun to have three legs in this moment, wouldn't it? Inhale, reach your left heel up, downward dog, three-legged dog. Exhale, draw everything in, round the spine. Inhale, three-legged dog, last one. Exhale, draw the knee in, and then let the left knee come behind the left wrist. Point the toes towards your right edge of your mat. Lower the right knee down and walk your knee back. Pigeon pose, bringing anything underneath your lower body if you need to or if you want to. And then lowering yourself down to your forearms, taking some breaths here. Repeating those affirmations to yourself. I know myself and I love myself. Inhale, start to come back onto the hands. Just shift over to that left hip. Swing the right leg around in front and bring your left foot down to the ground, just next to your right leg, knees pointing up. Activate through your right leg, hook onto your knee with your right elbow. Inhale, reach up with the left hand, and exhale, let it guide you into your twist as you reach it back. Breathing here. One more breath in. And exhale, slowly release forward. In our last little bit before closing here, we're going to practice a little bit of camel pose. So come around, come to kneeling, either on your heels, or if you have a block, bring it underneath your seat. You can also use a block underneath your hands. We're going to do some half camel undulations to open up through the front of the body, open up through the solar plexus area. So I'll demonstrate both ways to start. So you're just going to have one block kind of behind you to the right side. Sitting up on that block, if that's the option you're taking, you can turn it up to any level that you need to. Take a pause here. Bring your right hand to that block behind you on the right side. With your next inhale, you're going to press into your feet, to press your hips forward and up, and reach the left hand up overhead. And then exhale, lower your hips down, your left hand comes forward. You'll just switch out the block from here. Left hand comes behind you on the block, and you inhale, press the hips up, lean back, reach the right arm up, and exhale, slowly lower down. And so that's one way that you can move through these undulations, opening up through the front of the body. If you feel that you want to try it without the blocks, you do the same thing. So you're sitting on your heels this time. Right hand comes behind you. Breathe in, press the hips up, lean back, look towards your left hand, and exhale. You lower the hips and swim the arms through center. Left hand behind you. Press into the feet to lift the hips, lean back. Exhale, coming around. Let's do it all together now. Inhale to the right, lifting forward and up. Exhale, over to the left. And exhale, one more on each side. And back to seated, either on your heels or on your block. Taking a moment to notice how you feel, closing your eyes, softening the muscles of your face, feeling this warmth that you've cultivated in your abdomen, in your body. Coming back to your affirmation, I know myself, and I love myself. Today, let's place one hand over the belly and one hand over the heart, breathing into these spaces of inner knowing, where we know ourselves, we know our values, and we live from that center place. Nobody else gets a say in what happens here. This is just for you. With this in mind, palms come together in front of the heart, Anjali Mudra. We'll close, bowing the head, saying Namaste. Thank you again for being here today. I hope that this practice served you well. Self-confidence is, once again, something that will come and will go, but whenever we know ourselves and we know our values, that is where true self-confidence comes from. As always, I hope that you will take a little moment for yourself and sit on your mat a little longer doing that affirmation meditation, but if not, it's totally okay. You always have time for that later. Thank you again for being here, and I will see you on the mat tomorrow. Namaste.